All right, welcome everyone to HealthySimulation.com's coverage of IMSH 2025. My name is Lance. I'm the founder CEO of HealthySimulation.com. I'm sitting next to Dan Misick, who is the founder and CEO of Medical Shipment. Dan, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me, Lance.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about the show this year. I think we've got another record-breaking event, so it's really exciting that the community continues to expand out there. And I know, Dan, you've been supporting through Medical Shipment the nursing education and nursing community for 17 years now. So it's really wonderful to have you here to be able to support, continue that support. And I'd like to learn a little bit more from you about how you envision the future of that support in terms of where it can expand into and what domains it can continue into.
That's a great question, Lance. There's a couple things. One, big goal for this year is just to bring more advocacy, more awareness for nursing simulation.
Awesome.
At the start of the year, we've had some conversations recently. Just sat down with Senator Moreno from Ohio.
Fantastic.
And one of our customers over at Wright State University. He was able to come out and learn about some of the products that we sell to them. One specifically was the Pyxis.
From BD.
Yeah, exactly. Beck & Dickinson. We're an exclusive provider of their medication management system, the Pyxis. And just to get the understanding and the
awareness, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that they understand those relationships between medical device manufacturers, nursing and nursing education and training, and how important those connections can really be.
Exactly. And even more importantly with that is the importance of medication management, errors inside the hospital setting.
Exactly.
Giving the wrong medication to the wrong patient or to the right patient, a higher dosage or less the dosage that's there.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Just getting this Pyxis into schools all across the country so they can train on it, learn on it, practice on it before they go into the real world setting. And, and Lance, hopefully we're not sitting inside the hospital bed one day and they come to us and say, well, they gave you the wrong medication that's there. That probably wouldn't be a good thing.
Right. Well, we do know that about 50% of medical errors come from medication errors, right? And so that is such a crucial place that we spend and focus our attention in clinical simulation. And that's why, I'm a firm believer that almost every scenario should have some element of medication kind of included in it at some level or not. With whole scenarios just dedicated to just that functionality and that kind of process, right? So we can reduce those errors.
100%.
And I think it's really great that, having BD and having that real medical device available to learners so that they can start that educational journey on the real device that they're going to be practicing with anyway, right? And so for those institutions that can't afford a real medical device in their simulation programs, I think it gives them, such a level of realism that can't be matched because it's the actual device. So
correct.
You're saying that, you want to continue to evolve these kind of advocacy opportunities to help to showcase and support nursing with government.
100%. Yep. So we're able to get Senator Moreno to come out and just give them sort of behind the scenes look at what does a nursing school look like? What are the things that they need help with? What are the things that they need some more help with within the government there?
Right.
Funding. What are the different types of grants? How did they get that that's there? Having that platform, especially from a senator, was amazing. And that was just one. We've got more to come that are lined up. And there is one in Tennessee, and there's two senators, and we have one that is getting lined up for the next, advocacy and bring more awareness to schools.
So this is a new journey for you and for Medical Shipment that you want to continue to expand upon. And I think I agree with you because it's so important that government has an opportunity to better understand what's happening in the clinical simulation and nursing spaces so that they can better, support those initiatives. I've heard a statistic that 40% of the almost 80% of the healthcare workforce is over the age of 40. And certainly I think the larger bucket of that is 55 plus.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a mass exodus of, leading nurse educators who are, the most experienced are going to be retiring in droves over the next decade. And I think a lot of governments around the world, developed countries, are going to be looking to try to solve that issue. And simulation is going to become a much more prevalent and much more prominent solution to that challenge alone as that population goes from clinical educator into the clinical space themselves and become, patients in different capacities, right? So this is definitely a trend that I think is wise for you and Medical Shipment to be supporting long term. So just tell me a little bit more about this relationship though with BD and how that's evolved. I know the Pyxis has been the big seller there in terms of the opportunities to the nursing schools across the country, but now they're expanding with MedBank. So tell me a little bit more about that, what that all represents.
Yeah, definitely. So we've had our exclusive partnership with BD for a little over 12 years now.
Okay.
And Pyxis, as probably everybody knows, is the #1 medication management system in the country in acute care settings. And they have a line called the MedBank. So the percentage, I've heard all different numbers, but about 90% of care is moving outside of the hospital. It's very expensive to have a patient stay inside the hospital.
Sure.
So we want to get the care outside of the hospital, decrease the cost that's there. And with that, there's a version called the MedBank. And that's ultimately a very, very similar product to the Pyxis, but it's cloud-based. So you don't have to deal with all the back-end technology aspect of
server
it, the
system.
IT, getting everything set up.
Right.
The uplift is very, very easy with MedBank.
Okay, great.
And we're starting to roll this out. They deal with all non-acute care settings, MedBank directly with BD all across the country. We're just trying to bring more awareness to schools across the country.
So that kind of basically expands the portfolio of groups that might be able to participate in this type of training because of the deployability of a unit like this, which is kind of not as robust as a full, clinical medication administration cart, and enables for more settings in terms of a diversification of what these technologies can do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Dan, finally, who should be reaching out to Medical Shipment and why? Basically, who should be learning more about you guys in terms of the services that you can offer them?
Yeah, great question, Lance. So we offer 4 areas of business within the company, 4 verticals. The first one is medical supplies.
Okay.
So your gloves, your syringes, your Foley catheters, really your turnovers, medical supplies within your nursing
All those
simulation
consumable
center.
elements that we need to continue to open up new ones with.
Correct, yep.
Right.
The second area is medical equipment. So hospital beds, infusion pumps, ventilators, those bigger ticket items that hospitals need to train their nurses on. Ultimately, any of those big pieces of equipment, we offer that. We go through hundreds of different manufacturers. That's the second vertical. The third is we do customized kitting.
Okay.
So you have hundreds of students that are coming through. Instead of buying all the supplies for them, the schools will reach out to us and say, hey, we want this to go into the kit.
Make it simple and repeatable.
Exactly. And hopefully save costs with them, throughout the school. We'll build out the exact custom kit that the school's looking for, put a logo onto the bag, you pick the bag that you want that's there. We ship that out. We do just about a couple of hundred schools now across the country.
Wow.
And then the last vertical is Pyxis.
Okay.
Pyxis and MedBank. So what differentiates us versus competition that's out there, we really pride ourselves on service. I know customer service people say we have the best that's there, but if you're looking to try somebody else out, put us to the test, we really want to exceed customer expectations, and those are the type of customers that should be reaching out to us, and we'd love to have that conversation with them.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's a really important aspect of Medical Shipment is that desire for customer service, because the experience of running a simulation center is challenging enough as it is. So to be able to remove some of those barriers in terms of that process with kitting, with technologies that really help to provide for an effective outcome, and that customer service is supported. That's what Medical Shipment is all about. So Dan, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great show.
Yeah, Lance, thank you for having me.
Cheers.